Good evening, everybody, or morning or afternoon, whenever you listen to this. But I'm recording it at night, so it's the evening. This will probably be something pretty quick. Who knows? It might even be a 20-minute, it might be a 50-minute episode, I don't know. But it is Monday, and depending on when you're listening to this, I figured I would get this out before tomorrow, Tuesday, because that, of course, is the official day that the first time in American history a U.S. president will be arrested. Now, before you start cheering, as most of you, well, at least I guess they portray most of you, but I really, without going too much into it, I really hope that couple things. You really do your research. This is not about hush money at all. They've even admitted it. This is not about paying off a porn star. There are literal documents from said person who has said nothing has happened. There are official documents stating this. There's even FBI, whatever you call it, reports, data, blah, 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 that have seen this and looked at it and went, nah, this ain't worth anybody's time, and thrown it away. This is 1 bazillion% nothing but abuse of power and nothing but political theater. They even admitted it today. Go look up on my Instagram or whatever. Look at the news. They said the loud part out loud. No, sorry. Backtrack. They said the quiet part out loud. They do not want Trump in office as the next president. They fear for their lives because they know for a fact that if he gets back into that White House, he will prove that this has been one sham after the other, if he didn't already do it already when he was president back in 2016, which I believe so. You can hate Trump all you want. Orange man bad, mean tweets. But the bottom line is, no matter what side you're on, you cannot deny the fact that he woke you up to the sheer level of corruption that is currently happening, not just in these United States of America, but the world. Now, for anybody that has the slightest idea, we've known this from day one. If you trust your politicians, frankly, I kind of don't really want to be anywhere near you because you scare me. But what it comes down to is the entire plan is to keep us divided, because a divided people cannot unite. God forbid we unite under one banner. You know, the human being banner, where we treat each other with respect, we grow, we innovate, we become better than we were before. It is crazy how this is rocket science in today's world because, again, I'm all about data and I'm all about facts. We are the first generation in over 100 years that is literally less intelligent than the one before it. There is now statistical proof through CDC websites, through government websites, there is plethora of information that this generation has a lower IQ than the past 100 years. And you know what the culprit is? Ding, 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 ding. You are literally listening to it on that device. The scrolling, the social media, everything in between, that is literally eroding human intelligence. And that's not me literally being negative or down, being negative, Debbie Down or whatever you want to call it. That is the facts. And it's something I guess I just wanted to get off my chest here because, again, even just the gaslighting that is occurring in this world right now is astronomical. It's something I don't know. Do I get stressed about it? Yes. Do I live my life by it? No. I've learned a lot. I've said this over the past few, I guess last year, since my last relationship. I've learned that you can't live in this world. You can't live in a world of stress and emotion and negativity. It's just you're going to destroy yourself. You need to change. You need to be better. And at the same time, though, you do need to be educated. You do need to know what's going around you. Hence why I do these podcasts. I do my research. I read a lot. I look up and research a lot. And again, the goal is to really just make sure that these elites, these government officials, these tech giants, whatever you want to call it, it's to make sure that we are not going anywhere. We're not the ones promoting violence. We're not the ones shooting up places. I'm not saying anybody's perfect, but what I am saying is simply we're not the ones calling to violence. We're actually calling you to the table. We're asking you to have a conversation. But conversations go both ways. You cannot just sit there and yell, call us explicitives, or just blatant reaction. We understand that facts can hurt and the truth can hurt. Just as much as you want us to understand, we simply just want you to see. And regardless of where you are, even if you want to even put a title on it, the gaslighting, the narcissism, everything, it needs to stop. You want a reaction from us. You want us to act out. And I promise you, we won't do it. The way we act out is by telling you facts, is by telling you the truth, is by putting our foot down when you want to talk about children and sex. It's disgusting. When you're a law-abiding citizen, 18 years of old or older, you go do whatever you want to do. That's on you. But do not talk about children and sex. That classifies you as a pedophile, and you belong in jail. So, I guess I just kind of, yeah, that's just my 2 cents right now because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, I do, but who knows what's going to happen in the future because, I don't know, 2024 is going to be a very interesting year. It's... Holy shit. Okay, switching gears. Hold on a second. Star Wars Celebration is on right now? Stupid ads. Sorry, I didn't mean to switch gears. I just saw this thing on my YouTube thingy-mabobber. It just popped up saying Star Wars Celebration. I'm like, holy crap, that's going on right now? Yeah, anyway, totally random left field for you there, just to prove how these are definitely not, I mean, shit, clearly I'm not editing anything out of these things, but, where was I going? Yeah, I guess any, any sort of respect or respectable, views, I guess, has gone out the window with that, but, yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens tomorrow. There's a lot of talk about the country is lost, we're done, it's over. I don't know if it's over, but what once was definitely is gone now. I think if anything, you almost get mad. I don't know if I've ever talked about this in a previous episode or before in a channel episode, YouTube, but you almost get mad at your parents. I had very good parents, so let me be very clear. I've had a very good mom and I've had a very good dad. It's been amazing, and but you're almost mad at them because they hid you away from the reality of the world. The reality that most of the general public are not the brightest tools in the shed, shall we say. Um, Most people do not have your back, and loyalty and respect is very hard to come by. And it continues, in my view, to be really negative. It does continue to degrade more and more as each day goes by. But, and this is going to sound weird coming from me, there is still that little glimmer of hope that it can't be like this. I do actually I mean, we'll go into this a lot more later. If you know me, you know that I'm not a very big fan of the Pacific Northwest. I will simply leave it at that. Ask me in person what I really feel. Because again, I do think there's hope that not everywhere is like here. Seattle, Washington is a very beautiful place, but that the whole idea of the Seattle freeze, that is a very true statement. Um, I don't, the people here, I don't know, to put it lightly, they're not the nicest people. They are not the easiest people to get to know. And I don't know really I mean, again, if I look back at the last God knows how many years, I guess I could have lived a better life somewhere else, is what I'm trying to get at. And I really do, that's where my hope lies, is because one day I will. Once I can get out of here, I hope to prove that theory, that alleged theory. We'll just, you got to be careful what I'm saying. So I'm not pointing any fingers or any ill will towards anybody specific, because obviously there's evil people everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. I just, I don't have any support here. I don't have anybody I can rely on, and anybody that's ever told me that they could obviously has gone against my back or has done something to betray that love and support. And the sacrifices I've made, um what do you call it? I was watching Love is Blind too. There's a word for it. There was it was sacrificing, and there was another thing. Oh, it's gonna bother me. It's where you kind of give up. Oh, it's gonna bother me so bad. What is that phrase? There's sacrificing, and then there's, oh, I can't think, but it's where you kind of, how in a relationship, you want to be equal, with rent and chores and things like that. And it's sometimes one person does more than the other, even though it's not, even though it's not a competition, you still feel like, okay, why am I the one that's always compromising? That's the fucking word, so again, kind of very long. I don't know where I'm going with this really, but the long story short of it is, I do still have a little flame of hope that when I finally am able to get out of here, I will be living the best life that I possibly can. I really do. I think I'm going to be better in every aspect. And as much as I do feel being alone is the best thing right now, I kind of pray every day that maybe there's somebody else out there, a friend, a relationship, something that just, somebody where I can actually talk to and know that they have my back. Because I mean, if I look back now, other than maybe my parents, and I'm just probably just my mom, really, but there hasn't been a single soul other than Brian, who passed away, that has had my back. And it is not a good feeling. It is a horrible feeling. The only good part about it is finally realizing that. I've told this many times on this channel. Last year and year and a half or so, 2 years have been the greatest ever because I have finally realized that I have been living a lie. Nobody has ever had my back. Nobody has ever been my friend. The moment people realized that I was a Trump supporter or that I was a conservative, they ran. And when they ran, they basically left a trail of horribleness with them. Deceit and just terribleness. So there's got to be better out there. There has to be. There really does, because it can't be like this. And I've been outside of this world, not space, but I've been to other countries, and I've been to Europe and everything in between, and there's proof out there that it's not all like this. It really isn't. So that's where my hope lies, in the fact that the United States of America really is the greatest place on earth. Anybody who thinks differently really, really needs to get out more and wake up, because I don't know, it always pisses me off when I just think about people around this world that barely have food, that barely have health care, that are digging in the mines barehanded for lithium that will charge your electric vehicle, that will power your phone. And it's like, we bitch about, I can't send a text message, or I can't fucking this or that on my $1,000 device. I only had 20 minutes of hot water. It's like, God, the things we bitch about just gives me the worst headaches, because of just sheer frustration and lack of integrity that I hear from people. It's astonishing. It really is. And sure, I am perfectly guilty of that. I really am. But I do think taking a bit of ownership too goes a long way. And that's on any level, on any many, many, many subjects. So we will just leave it at that. Again, I'm kind of rambling. I do apologize. What do you know? We're getting up to that 20-minute mark. Stay tuned. I'm pretty sure we're going to continue this conversation a lot more in the future, not just with Trump, but like I've said, I mean, I didn't realize, holy crap, Star Wars Celebration is starting, God, this week. So let's talk about that. I'm hoping we'll get an Ahsoka trailer. I'm hoping we'll get some news on a third season of the Bad Batch. Obviously, there'll be some other surprises, and maybe I'll buy some shit that I don't need. You don't know. But the coolest thing too is it is actually in London. They also usually stream this live on YouTube, so it's always kind of fun to watch that if you've never seen it before. I was very fortunate back in 2015, I think it was, where I was able to go to Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim. I swear to you, it was one of the greatest conventions I've ever been to. It was San Diego Comic-Con, but nothing but Star Wars. It was fucking amazing. If anything, I wish I'd have gone more days. And I was going to go to, I think it was 2020, but of course the pandemic kicked in, so we weren't able to make that happen. And, you know, maybe in the future I'll go to one of them, but it might be a while, because they kind of switch back and forth every year about where they go. So yeah, that'll be fun. Last but not least, you'll notice, if you follow me on Rumble, which you should, because we're going to start throwing a lot more material over on Rumble. I do not have the equipment to really do it properly, but I'm starting to play video games, specifically Zelda Breath of the Wild. We have the sequel coming out here in a few weeks, which I am ecstatic about. So I'm kind of just recording some of my gameplay. I've started from the beginning again with the Breath of the Wild. So if you're ever bored and you want something to just play in the background, I will be posting some videos there, as well as these new episodes, because Rumble is the place that still exists where free speech reigns. Free speech. One more time. Free motherfucking speech. It still exists somewhere. It must. It has to. It is the only thing that separates us from anarchy. We have to have the ability to talk to each other. If we do not have that, we will lose. Everybody will lose, not just one side, everybody. So with that, I thank you. I love you. Please follow and subscribe, like, comment everywhere you can. Spot of Nerd. We will see you guys next time. Later, y'all.